Okay, so this next section is compositions, means there's going to be two transformations. So you might have two different or two same transformations. See, so you apply a transformation and then another transformation is applied. A glide reflection is specific. The composition of a translation followed by a reflection. So this one is specific. This is a translation, then reflection. And here's an example of that. So you're sliding and reflecting, sliding and reflecting. Okay. Next, composition of isometries. So again, this is the same thing I was just telling you. This one would be two different or two of the same transformations. That's not necessarily a glide. Our transformations are reflections, translations, and rotations. And isometry is where a pre-image and an image are congruent. So these are always congruent. So this one is showing a reflection, and it's got these parallel lines, and we can see that it is twice the amount. So this is this amount, and then when it does it again, it reflects. It's like a pattern. It's twice that. So it's perpendicular to the two lines and twice the distance between the two lines. So that's a reflections and a parallel line. So this is reflecting here. So this is reflected here, and then here's another line, and this is reflecting here. So it goes from P, P prime, and then double prime for the second move. Okay. This one too. So you are doing the same thing. So the composition, this just looks very confusing, but it is not. The composition of two reflections in an intersecting lines can be described by a rotation about the point where the lines intersect and through an angle that is twice the measure of the acute or right angle formed by the lines. So here to here would be twice. So you've got this, and then you've got this little extra, which would make it twice as long. The total arc would be twice as long. Let's see this in action. I think that's the best way to see it. And again, it's not that far. Not that bad. So it's image after a translation. So that's just a move, sliding. Are we just doing 1 point? Do we not see them all? Are we missing any? And a reflection, oops, is what this says. Reflection in the X. So we've got two movements. So again, translation and a reflection. The translation says we're going to add 5 to our X's, add nothing to our Y's. Our reflection will go back to the rule. And I am not going to do them all. I am just going to do a few. So I'll do 2 points. So we'll do B. So my original B is -3, 4. So to translate, I need to add 5, right? So my first move is the translation. I'm going to add 5 to my X, and I'm going to add 0 to my Y. So B prime becomes -3 plus 5 is a +2, and 4 plus 0 is 4. Okay, did that. Now, let's get our B prime prime, our next move. So a rotation, I'm sorry, it's not a rotation, it's a reflection. What are our reflection rules? Let's go back to our reflections, and it looks like the reflection is, where do I want to put that? We changed to X in our opposite of Y. X in the opposite of Y. So our B prime, our X stays the same, and then our y changes to our opposite. So if I did this correctly, I am going to move him, oh, can't move it up 5. Can't even do it here. I was going to say just move this up 5, and then you're reflecting over the x, so it would be 2, -4. Oh, sorry, let's do this. Starting here, add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it would stay right here. So this would be this b. And then if we reflected it over the x, remember it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we correct? 2, -4. That's what it would look like. Okay. So if you did it by hand, that's what it would look like. Let's do another one. Let's do, I'm trying to think of one that would be in the same, let's do S. So S is, can you see it? -4, 2. Okay, so S prime, the translation, we're going to add 5, add 0. -4 plus 5 is 1. That stays a 2. S prime prime says our x stays the same and our y changes to its opposite. So let's try this one. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, nothing, so we stay here. So that's my first move. And now we're going to reflect it, so it's 2 away from our x-axis, so it's going to be 2 away from the x-axis the other way. So this should be our S prime prime. Is that 1, -2? Yes, it is. So we did a nice job with that. Let's try this next one. So this next one, after a translation, so again, it's another translation and a reflection in the y equals x. So that's a whole different rule. The y equals x is just flip-flopping our y and our x. And then here's the rule for the other. It's too bad they don't do that. Anyway, okay, so let's pick a point. We'll use t. We'll go with t. So t originally is at 2, -1. So t prime, we're going to subtract 1, add 5 from this rule. Subtract 1, add 5 to our x and y. 2 minus 1 is 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. And then to go to t prime prime, we're going to reflect y equals x, so we're just going to flip-flop those. So it would be 4, 1. Okay. So t, let's move this guy. So we are moving this point 1 here and then up 5. And then this rule is so weird that we're doing its opposite, right? So it became, so that was 1, 4. So then it becomes 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Isn't that bizarre? It's kind of hard to imagine. I guess because originally it's going here, and now you're kind of going here, because this is the, you should have a line that goes straight through here. Let me put, where's my ruler? Where's the ruler I can never find? So x equals y literally is like this. I'm going from point to point. And so it's the same distance. I think you might be able to see that. Same distance from that center, x equals y. Let's move on to this next one. So copy and reflect this figure in parallel in line P and then Q, then describe a single transformation that maps it onto the double. So if we would reflect it, we're saying reflect, so this would be a reflection, right? So he would be E, F, G, H. So it's a line of symmetry. It's like folding it in half. And now I need to reflect it again. So if I reflect it again, it kind of goes back to its original. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So here's G, here's F, here's E, here's H. And since this is 2 inches, this is also going to be 2 inches. So we actually, from like E, that's what it's saying, from E to E, double prime. Maybe I should have made these all prime. These would all be double primes. So from this E to this E, what happened? I understand you're going to say it flipped and then it flipped. Okay, we're not going to say that. From here to here, you basically just moved it straight down. So it's actually a translation from all points 4 units down. So F would be the same thing, 4. Since this is 2, it's the same thing. Oops, down. All right, I think that's that one. Tomorrow is symmetry.